What happens when you combine a cookie and a cake into a sandwich? You get a delicious melt in your mouth whoopie pie. And here to show us how to make these delicious whoopie pies is our favorite delicious cook, Mr. Ronnie Woo. Welcome, Ronnie.
Debbie, so good to see you. Air hug.
Air hug.
It's nice to be back.
Now, it's nice to have you back. Is it a whoopie pie or a whoopie pie? A Ronnie Whoopie pie?
Never heard a woo-woo pea pie.
No, it would be that one. But I do know that your niece and nephew love these whoopie pies so much, don't they?
I always laugh about this because we have this joke that I always say these are my nieces and nephews' favorite things, and they're always like, we've never eaten that, and so I kind of forget what they've eaten and what they haven't. So.
But this is legit.
Sorry,
your
girls
favorite.
and boys. Yeah,
Legit,
these are legit.
really do
Although
love
I'm now thinking about, like, have they eaten it or not? But they love everything I make because they're the best nieces and nephew ever.
And who wouldn't love a whoopie pie, especially when it has pumpkin in it?
Yes, perfect for fall, right?
All right, so show us how to
Okay,
make the batter.
so it's really quick and easy. It's actually just your standard, like, baking sort of directions. You have your butter and your sugar creamed together so it's nice and fluffy and light.
Okay, brown sugar or regular sugar?
It's brown sugar. Yep,
Okay.
Brown sugar and butter, because I like brown sugar. It just adds like complexity to it, a little bit more of a deeper flavor, for me at least.
It makes it taste more like fall.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Like I just sprinkled brown sugar all over. I'm fall. It's fall. Brown sugar. Okay, we have all-purpose flour. We have a little baking soda, some cinnamon, some nutmeg, a little bit of salt to bring out that sweetness as well.
Nice.
So you're just combining the wet ingredients first and then the dry ingredients. We're just gonna pop them in there.
Easy breezy.
Easy breezy. Then we're gonna mix it. Whoops, don't want to break anything. We're just gonna mix that up really quick.
And you can do it that way and just be fine with it, but adding the pumpkin really does elevate it.
Totally. So the pumpkin kind of acts sort of like a way to keep it moist, and it's gonna add that pumpkin flavor, obviously. And again, yeah, you can make like a chocolate whoopie pie, a vanilla whoopie pie, but the pumpkin, it's like just an easier way of making a pumpkin pie. Like, I don't know.
Better.
No, it's not an easier pumpkin pie. It's just if you want that pumpkin flavor, go like just make a pumpkin whoopie pie.
And it's unexpected.
Like a pumpkin cake. Yeah.
Everybody makes pumpkin pie around, Halloween or around Thanksgiving. This is like a nice surprise.
Totally. And if you don't have like pumpkin puree, you can, butternut squash is always a really good like substitute. You can probably use like mashed sweet potato. And it's so easy to make your own butternut squash make your own pumpkin puree. It's just you roast a bunch of pumpkin squash, you scoop it out and you puree it in a blender. It's either a food processor, whatever you have. We're gonna add a little bit of vanilla bean paste. I like using vanilla bean paste because you get those little specks of vanilla bean in there, and it just gives it a little bit more of a bougier feel,
It's more vibrant, to be honest.
Totally more vibrant, yeah, and just adds it just looks good. But again, if you don't have vanilla bean paste, just use vanilla extract or imitation vanilla is also a great way of doing it too. Again, it doesn't really matter. If you want to add like different, I don't even know how to work this anymore. I've been in quarantine for so long. I'm like, what is this fandangled thing that keeps spinning?
It's been a long time, Ronnie. There you go.
Okay, so you just want to make sure that you kind of scrape the sides and the bottom because
and it's a pretty wet dough, huh?
It is a pretty wet dough, but it's really user-friendly, as you can see. Like, it's not loose. It's, it's moist, but it's not like a bread dough, but it's also not, it's not hard to use either. It's not hard to scoop up. Okay, so we're gonna mix this.
Pretty quickly.
Yep, and you want to mix it just until combined because you don't want these whoopie pies to be tough and dense. Yeah, and that's the problem with flour. Not the problem, but the trick with flour is you just want to mix it just until it's combined.
Just keep enough air in it. Even if there's still little bits of dry bits, it's fine.
It's totally fine. Yeah, exactly. And this, you can't smell it because we're social distancing, but it smells so good and it smells just. You can smell, it's...
Wow, even when the cookies come out of the oven, they smell just as delicious.
Yes.
So then you're gonna take your little scooper, and you're gonna put them on a cookie sheet, and we're gonna bake these for how long?
So we're gonna bake them for about 11 to 13 minutes at 425.
Okay.
And then, again, you just wanna bake them just until they're done and like a little golden brown on top. And even if they seem like they're not fully done, just take them out because you don't want them to be super dry.
Right, oh my gosh.
But if they're super dry, the saving grace about whoopie pies is that you have that filling on the inside, and that filling is gonna actually keep it moist. So
super delicious. Now, in your typical whoopie pies, people put marshmallow fluff. This is so much better than the marshmallow fluff. This is the first time I've ever heard of this, by the way. So you're using cream cheese instead. Why?
Cream cheese, yeah. I just feel like cream cheese and pumpkin go really well together.
So true.
It's like this whoopie pie is kind of like a mix between like cheesecake and like a cookie, a cake, like everything that you could ever want. in one bite.
It's so true. So this is cream cheese and powdered sugar.
Cream cheese, powdered sugar, a little bit more vanilla. You can always add like butter in it a little bit
Oh
if you
my
want it to be
goodness.
even more decadent. Again, we're just making like kind of an icing, and that's really what we're doing here. And again, I was gonna say like earlier, if your pies are a little bit dry, feel free to make your like icing a little bit wetter, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
There you go, no.
Because then like when they sit, the whoopie pies are actually gonna soak
Absorb it.
absorb. I can't even
Can you
speak.
stand it? Can you stand how beautiful my whoopie pie is?
I mean, like you can just like, you can even like put the chocolate chips in there, and then just like.
It's like a whoopie UFO pie.
I'm like a hot mess right now. I'm just
Right? Look at it. So then, I mean, again, you could stop right there, but you
Yep.
were adding these delicious little miniature chocolate chips. Are we using dark chocolate chips or semi-sweet?
Honestly, whatever you want and whatever you have on hand. I find that the small ones work better. If you don't have small ones, take like a chocolate bar, chop it up into shards, and then just roll it into that as well. You can use sprinkles. You can use, you know, any kind of like candy that you have on hand. It's really kind of customizable. This is really fun for, you know, kids. Like my nieces and nephew love doing this,
Oh
although
my
we've probably
gosh.
never done this together. I just use them. Like I love them so much. I use them for everything. I'm just
Because
like,
you just want to
"I
see them
love
on
it."
television.
just
I
want the-
appreciate that.
I just like
the
mentioning
same-
them whenever I can,
I mean, why not?
even if
I'll
it's a
tell you,
lie.
The only thing that your niece and nephew may love more than your whoopie pies is the new addition to your family.
Oh, I know they haven't
tell us about
met
that?
them in real life yet, because they normally make their like a little annual trip every September to come see me. And we got a new dog over the pandemic. His name is Unagi, like the eel rice, like the Japanese eel rice. Yeah, there he is. Aw, he's the best. There's Taco, Unagi, and Queso. He has these huge ears. They're like big, and he has no tail. And like, kid you not, like I've become that dog parent who's like, he's the cutest, like he's the best. I love my other two dogs, but this one was just like,
Well, he's the baby of the family.
he's a baby, but he's like such a good dog.
Well,
No.
who rescued who?
Crazy.
Who rescued you? I mean, did they rescue you or you
I'm
rescued
a hot
them?
mess, so I'm sure they all rescue
They
me.
rescued
you know,
you.
I'm just a big, hot, like floppy mess. So all
Who
three of
really
them are
knows how to
saving me
bake, by the
every
way.
day.
I'll take
Yeah.
your hot mess any day of the week, Ronnie Woo, because
Aw,
your whoopie
Deb.
pies
I love you.
are second to none, my friend. I love you, Ronnie. Welcome
Thank
back. I'm
you.
so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
For the full recipe, you guys head on over to hallmarkchannel.com. And for more from Ronnie, be sure to check out his social media below.